Okay, so I'm gonna see if I can find a drill bit to remove this. These curtains, they already detach. I think I already have what I need to make these things. If not, I'll figure it out. But let me see if I can. I'm gonna see if I can remove that, so we can put in a different curtain. Okay, here is the curtain that I'm using to style this one, or rather make a pattern for this one. I'm just using the curtain though. So I'm gonna trace it, but I am gonna like leave this for seam allowance, and cut kind of just a little bit. I might just leave that. It's interesting how it doesn't look straight, but that's okay. And I'll leave some seam allowance on the side here also. Okay, so I just put a few pins just to keep it together while I cut, leaving some, and I'll just kind of eyeball some seam allowance. So I'm gonna fold this down a little bit so that the crease is like where that marker is. And I'm just gonna do a stitch there, and the same thing on the other side. And that will be my opening so that I can flip this inside out. All right, here I am sewing the 1/2 of the part that's gonna open so I can flip it in, right side out. All right, now I'm pinning, this side is done. I'm gonna pin this other side, and I've put these two here, and I think I'm gonna leave them after I stitch this too, so that I know that is the opening. And I'll sew here and here, no need to sew here. And then I'll use that opening to flip it right side out. So I was certainly getting confused, but if I line it with the folded bottom, that seems to help. I pretty much have it fairly well here. It looks like I went a little bit above here, but you know, this is not like when I did the magnetic window, which had to be really close. This can be approximate, and it'll probably be fine. But yeah, I'm gonna use, it's like the more inside-ish line here. The corner is correct, or I added a little above. And then it's the most inside-ish one on this side as well. All right, now I've sewn both of these sides, and I'm gonna flip it inside out with my opening. Actually, first I'm gonna cut a little, almost like a square here. I might do it over here as well, like a little triangle out at the corners so that it doesn't like get bunched up. Okay, so I flipped it inside out. I am gonna also get an iron and iron this down, and then I'll do a stitch up here, and then onto these things, which, by the way, if anyone is using this as a tutorial, if you want, you could have done these early, you know, made these earlier, and then before you flipped it, like you just, you know, had it pinned and sewed inside. I guess like on the inside of like when the right sides were touching each other. If you know sewing, you know what I'm talking about. Right side means the side that you end up looking at. And we were sewing the wrong sides together, and then when we flipped it, like they would be here. But honestly, I'm fine with just like making them, making it so it's nice and doesn't have any exposed like ends or anything, and I'll just sew it about where it is on this. But first, ironing. Right, now I'm making these things. I forgot if I filmed this, but I put this over just to kind of show that hopefully the size is right. It's storming here, so I don't want to take it outside to double check that it's right. But at this point, I would have to do it over either way, so I'm just gonna go with it. I'm gonna keep going with it. And I did mark where this pin is, where these holes are, and I bought some hardware like this that I'll be placing on here. We'll see if it works. So now I'm making these thingies, and I'm just gonna make sure there's enough fabric to basically have it as thick as 2 of these. And I'll sew like wrong sides together and leave some space to turn it inside out and turn it inside out. All right, here's one strap. I'm gonna flip it inside out and then iron it and then sew it. All right, so here's one strap. It's more or less the same size. That's fine. I'll make the other one now. I'm gonna flip this one inside out. Depending on what I'm using to flip things inside out, I found using just a chopstick tends to help. All right, I ironed this and I put a seam here. And Nacho says hi and meow. So it's this pack that has the actual things I need that are going to replicate the hardware that's in the current curtain. I believe I used Google image search, or rather Amazon image search now to find the product, and it does appear to be the same. So I'm gonna try in a little like scrap piece of fabric before I use it in the curtain I've made to see if I can do this. Okay, so seems like this screwdriver that we had in the garage is working to unscrew this. So I'm unscrewing it until I have room to put in the bottom thing. Hopefully I can put it in. Or maybe I have to put it in first and then put on this other thing. Okay, so I'm learning as I go. Okay, let's try that. Do I need to screw this in more? Probably. And I think ideally this thing should be attached to a piece of wood or something, but let's see if it works without that. Okay, I guess I need to push this down in order. All right, I'm gonna try to figure out how to screw this in. I'll be back. I gotta say, it was not easy to get that in, to get all 3 of these things in. So now I'm going to press this and we'll see if I have a nice grommet or not. Hey, the grommets are in. I think they are spaced correctly. Yay, figured that out. Now I'm gonna figure out putting this part, like this snap. And if anyone is wondering where's the other end, it's connected to the wall. I don't need to put it in. I just had to make sure I buy the same size. I've tried applying the snaps that I bought with the tool that came with it, and also with my pressy thingy. I don't know what it's called. It's probably called a press, but a bajillion things are also called a press. Yeah, but I watched some more videos, and I suspect to really do it properly, I have to buy something else. I really tried with the like stick and like little groove thingy they gave me, or that came with these snaps, and they didn't work. All right, so I just tried all of the ones I did. None of them look great. And I'm trying them like with the other side of the snap, and only one works. Do you want to look first and guess which one's gonna work? Which one of these? I know this one's prettiest, but is that one gonna work? Why don't we check? No, it sounds like almost, but definitely not. These both look terrible on this side. But are either of them gonna work once we use it? Sorry, it went blurry. One of them does. Spoiler. Ooh, that one's like not even together. And no, it doesn't work. What about this one, which by the way, I used my current, sorry it went blurry again. I used the press that I had. I think I used the largest settings, and gosh, oof, it is not attractive on this side. Let's see if it snaps. It does. So, the question I need to ask. I think we have success. I'd like to assume that this will go ahead and snap. It's pouring pretty hard out there. There's like, I don't think the hurricane's coming to me, but hurricane's coming to my state. So I don't really want to go out there and double check, but I'm pretty sure this will snap because it looks a lot like the good one, except this side looks great. The snaps look pretty good. I'm glad I bought that stuff, and I'm grateful it arrived, I think 1 or 2 days earlier than it said it would. So it's raining, but I'm really excited. So I'm going to take this outside in some kind of waterproof bag and also get the drill to put the screws here back up. I think I see why it's why it won't snap. Do you see that circle's not round all the way? But I don't know what I did wrong on 3 of them and right on the other. Like, as far as I can tell, I did them all exactly the same. Yay, the new one worked! I wanted to try to show the flathead screwdriver trick. Oof. Basically, yeah, you just like what I've been doing. Yep, as you can hear, there's a storm. You just stick it in and twist. And I notice, like, you got to be careful. Maybe do it against something that if it bumps into it, it's not a big deal. And be careful about not bumping into yourself. And I noticed for this, sometimes I have to go into the other side also. One video I saw said that snaps, oh, the other side is fine when you remove it and you can use it over. Not the case for these, I found out. The third do-over did not work, and I just want to show you why in case it's helpful for anyone watching. Do you see how the circle, like, I don't know, do you see like the inside copper circle? It's not like at the same place around. It's wonky. So I must not have been very even when I used the squeeze-a-mid-jig over here, whatever that thing is called. So I get to remove this and try over for a 3rd time. Yay, it should work. Okay, the snaps are in, 1 screw is in. Now I will screw in the other one. This is what that looks like as a reminder. By the way, these also, more of these came with the same kit that I got the snaps. I think I used image search, and then in theory I'll be able to roll this up just like the other one. I guess it's not quite as wide, but honestly, it works. I'm fine with this. All right, there's the new curtain when it's down. Here it is when it's up. So thank you for watching. I hope this was helpful, and thanks for coming with me on my journey of failures and successes with this.